Right.
Neither is he, but I'm like, when you're here, you gotta eat a Simpsons donut.
I'll take a bite of it.
Right, we'll share what they're huge.
Yeah. It'll probably accept this stuff. But I'm sure the double bacon cheeseburger I just ate will be just fine.
Exactly. Shoot. Shoot. Okay.
If I do this, I can see cars 2, 3, and 4 back there. I see you. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I know, it is a very warm day today. I don't even need to tell you that. Everybody look to your left-hand side. Where could all of these people in line?
It'll be cheaper if I lose one or two of them.
Once again, my name is India. I'm your guide. I am not driving this tram. You would not want that. We got a great driver with us today. His name is Kurt. Everyone say hi, Kurt. Hi, Kurt. He's going to be taking us around those 400 acres. Now, before we get too far, there's actually one more person I need to...
The studio tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
India.
And the greatest driver.
Kurt.
You're the best. I love it. Even though
India.
owes me $5.
Oh.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Hey, that's right. First, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off of the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, reach out and grab that red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property, and if at any time during the tour you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord and remain seated. And please no smoking of any kind during the tour, and be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, and many water effects, so you may get wet. There are also sudden tram movements during the tour, so secure your purse. And finally, for your safety and for those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you were on board. All right, everyone, we're making our way into the studio right now, but before I get into the tour, I do want to point out just a couple things here first. To your left-hand side, I think we've already got people looking over here to the left. We got a brand new roller coaster joining us here this year, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, so definitely come back for that. And to your right-hand side, this is one of my favorite views. We'll get to see Super Nintendo World as well as our lower lot. To your right, you can get those pictures out here. Now, here's just a little bit of history about Universal Studios, as well as the tour specifically that you were taking for right now. So on March 15th of 1915, our founder, Carl Laemmle, invited the public into the studio to watch silent movies being made. Now, guests could walk from set to set and marvel at the new technology involved in filmmaking, but with the invention of sound and the need for quiet on the set, the original walking tour ended. So in the 1960s, under the leadership of company chairman Lou Wasserman and executives Al Dorskin and Jay Stein, the idea of reviving a tour of the studio returned when the Gray Line bus tours originating in Hollywood made a stop at our gates. So on July 15th of 1964, the first of O'Reilly by Candy's Drive to Glamour trams took 67 passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the Universal lot, and the world-famous studio tour was born. Here we are today, everybody. Now, to your right-hand side, you're going to see Fire Station 51. It is a real working fire station, as we are a real working city here at Universal City. And we're broken up into 2 different lots here. Got a front lot as well as a back lot. Now, our front lot, it houses most of our sound stages as well as our production offices. And our back lot has more of those large-scale sets. So up here to your left-hand side, very important, everybody, the first soundstage of the tour. It is Soundstage 12. It is our oldest and largest soundstage we have here on the lot. Built in the 1920s, it's around 30,000 square feet. Let's take a look at a few movies that are filmed inside of Soundstage 12. Okay, I'll go ahead and pull them up on your screens. I think you're going to recognize a few of these movies. Starting off strong with those classic Universal monsters. Making our way to Scarface. As well as Back to the Future. Again, all of these scenes you see here on your screen, they filmed inside of Soundstage 12 to your left-hand side there. Now, Basically, the inside of a soundstage just looks like a very large warehouse, so set design can go in and create pretty much any kind of environment the script requires. So go ahead and pause your screens right here. So we have officially entered the front lot, everybody. Up to your left-hand side, these sound stages have recently been used for the TV series Hacks, starring Jim Seat, currently streaming on HBO Max. Also the TV series Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks and Ollie Sholatin. They recently just wrapped the 4th and final season. You can check it out on our streaming service Peacock. If you happen to see any of these soundstage doors open, everybody definitely take a peek inside. Always exciting to see production network. You never know who or what you might see over here. Truly midnight. Now, Universal Studios is part of NBC Universal, one of the world's leading entertainment companies, which includes Universal Pictures, Focus Features, Peacock, and NBC Television. This year, NBC is celebrating its 100th anniversary, from trailblazing radio and television to launching The Today Show, The Voice, Saturday Night Live, The Office, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and every beloved show in between. NBC has been home of entertainment, news, and sports for an entire century. We're celebrating the network all year long here. Currently in production on the lot is season 2 of The Paper, which streams on Peacock, but it made its debut on NBC in November. Take a look.
Hi, studio tour. We're here on the lot where we filmed The Paper, which follows our characters' day-to-day lives as employees of a struggling newspaper, Toledo Truth Teller.
That's right. Unlike many other TV shows, The Paper uses multiple cameras and a variety of shot types and movements to give our show a true documentary feel.
Because the camera is always around whenever we're on the set. It's important that we stay in character.
Yeah, Oscar, what's your favorite part of working on the movie?
I wasn't expecting you to ask me that. You know what? I love being around talented, wonderful, hilarious people. I also get to work with Chelsea Fry. How about you, Chelsea? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love waving to the trams.
Okay. We could probably stop waving now. Yeah?
That's great.
Now, The Paper was brought to us by executive producers and writers Greg Daniels from The Office. Now, along with these 9 sound stages around us here in the front lot, we're going to shows such as The Jeffersons, the original One Day at a Time, Who's the Boss, as well as one of my favorites, and that is Never Have I Ever, produced by Mindy Kaling, streaming on Netflix. A lot of those interior shots were filmed inside of sound stages 16 and 17 to your right and your side. Also, these sound stages were recently home to a brand new TV show called Five Star Weekend, which stars Jenny sound stages, including everyone's favorite director, James Millian. That's right. James was currently here inside of sound stages 14 and 19 to your right and your side. Now, go ahead and get those cameras out, everybody. We are approaching our first celebrity sighting. To your left-hand side, everyone, you're going to first. It's produced by Seth MacFarlane. Take a look.
Hi everyone, Seth MacFarlane here, and I'm excited to share with you a behind-the-scenes look at my Peacock original event series, TED. It's a prequel series set in 1993. That means our skilled craftspeople had to build a high school, a house, and even recreate downtown Boston as it looked back in the day, using exterior sets and facades that you're about to see on the tour. But I should warn you, TED is intended for mature audiences only. So grown-ups, tell the kids to go in the other room before you watch. Come on!
Thank you, Seth. Also to your left-hand side here, you're going to see these small buildings. We call them production bungalows. Now, we have 3 stages of production, right? We got pre-production, production, and post-production. Now, a lot of pre-production can happen in the bungalows. It's when a producer comes in. They can utilize the space to find a director, find a writer. Right now, Kevin Williamson is in our bungalows, and Kevin was the writer for Scream. He was also the creator of Dawson's Creek and Vampire Diaries. Also among these bungalows, we've got Mark Clough Productions, and they've just brought Wicked to the big screen. Star Cynthia Erivo as Aquaman and Linda. Watch parts 1 and 2 of Wicked and Wicked for Good, both now on Peacock. Also to your left-hand side, we've got some newer sound stages, 25 and 26. Now, these are Spring Live back in 2016. TV show Keenan, also filmed in there, starring Keenan Thompson, which you may recognize from Saturday Night Live, and the revival seasons of Will and Grace. everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. They were filming inside of Soundstage 26. They're currently filming St. Dennis Medical starring David Allen Greer. As you can see, we have crossed that imaginary boundary into our back lot. This is where we've got a lot of those large-scaled sets. Welcome to our Metropolitan sets here, everybody. Go ahead and get those cameras out. I'm going to argue that this is our second celebrity scene. Welcome to Courthouse Square. Now, Courthouse Square is famously known as Hill Valley from Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Leah Thompson. To your left-hand side, that's where you're going to see that famous clock tower.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up there, the clock tower on that ledge.
Decoration. Now, a lot of these facades in Courthouse are from the 1940s, but the rest of our Metropolitan sets are considerably newer, redesigned and rebuilt in 2008, including our New York Street, everybody. Welcome to New York. These buildings are 50 feet tall, and they were built with a 10-feet full force perspective. So if you peek out the tram a little bit, you can probably see here, the taller these buildings get, the smaller they get. That's to fool the eye, to make them seem bigger than they actually are, especially on camera. So here to tell us just a bit more about it is our friend Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. I once got mugged over there. That old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? Oh, just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here. I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool guys. I was just, just walking here. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you can make it here on the Universal lot.
So from the concrete jungle, everybody, to the real jungle, we're headed to Skull Island, and here to take us there is director Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. And to me, Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board a ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. And it's great to have you along for the ride. We're about to return to Skull Island.
This is a shaky fire. So cool.
The Universal Tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife in Skull Island. In a sense, this is like a mini sequel, a mini continuation. We're just taking the Kong and Skull Island and the dinosaurs.
Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years.
Weta effects. Computer-generated imagery and digital effects have been important tools in movie making for many years and have helped build the worlds in some of your favorite Universal pictures, from sci-fi to fantasy to action films and more. Relationship with Weta Effects. It started in the 1990s when we collaborated on Peter Jackson's project, The Frighteners, and The Frighteners starred Michael J. Fox, who of course was the star in Back to the Future, which filmed right here in our Metropolitan sets. Welcome back to the Metro sets, everybody. Now, for Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw starring Dwayne Johnson, this was actually the scene of a high-speed car chase through the streets of London. Now, some parts of that scene were actually filmed on location in London, while others were filmed right here. So with clever editing, our filmmakers combined the footage to make it appear as though our heroes were in London the entire time. Now, to your left-hand side, just from a distance, you're going to be able to see a bit of our brownstone street over there. Now, Bruce Almighty did some filming across our Universal Studios lot, but they did do some filming on those brownstones. Take a look here. Alright, now this shot of Jim Carrey looking in the mirror, this was actually filmed inside of one of our sound stages, and then several weeks later, for this very same scene, we utilized our Metro sets.
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
Now, up next is one of my favorite elements of the studio tour. It's up here to your right-hand side. It is this beautiful monster mural done by the artist Tristan Eaton. It's a